This is the B-Main, 20 laps of distance. The top six drivers transfer in tonight's 24-car field for 50 laps. $26,000 in prize money, $10,000 to win. And this is your last chance showdown. And Andrew Roberts, Alex Sweeney, and Miles Gilroy's repaired the car after that crash earlier on because someone else has dropped out. And Miles Gilroy gets a lifeline. The B-Main is on track and we are set to go green for Ian Botcher Race Parts. Top six to transfer as we go green with a great start for Brodie Boss from pole position. Shellcross on the outside of him. And they'll go side by side for the first lap. Wayne Gilroy around the outside of Severs. And look at Gilroy on the charge on the top. Wayne Gilroy is flying. The blue and yellow number 19 on the top gets up alongside Chuck Gerrits. Brodie Boss still leads. Shellcross is second. Coomba, Pimenta, Jason Drever, and David Head. Chuck Gerrits right on the bubble. Gilroy on the outside of him. Impressive start to the B-Main Damo with Brodie Boss out in front.
This is really cool stuff. Brodie Boss, Shellcross in the Cortina there. Coomba, Rocket Rodney Palmenta right out there as well. Have a look, all the action in the back. We've got one up the wall, car 22. Jack Cameron, he gets it back down.
Chuck's got the tyres.
Oh no.
He got the tyre bundle.
The birthday boys hit the tyres. Why didn't you get rid of them, Rhino?
They might be gone now. Jack Cameron coming to the inspection area for the officials to check over. He might get a lifeline here because he slowed that. Here's the replay.
Oh, Tangles gets tangled with Chucko, and Chucky Gerris gets pushed into the tyres.
So we're yellow on the racetrack, 2 laps in. Here's the contact on screen for Ken Mills Toyota. Former Queensland champ Brodie Boss. Valuable track time right now to get yourself a liking for tonight's big dance. Bossy to bring him around. And Paul, here he goes.
Jason Boss jumps to the race lead. Have a look at the chaos behind him now. Whoa. Everybody knows they've got to be up the front six. Chucky up high on the racetrack. We got him 3 wide around the western corner. Chucky stays there.
Look at Chucky Gerrits.
Here he comes belting down the main straightaway. Coomba down on the inside of him. Pimenta is there as well as they're all having a go now at Dennis Shellcross. Stephen Gerrits has got himself up into position number 3. He has really got the blood pumping. That's what we needed. He was just not ready for it.
Well, the top's good. The top of the racetrack is outstanding right now, Paul.
Jason Boss, Dennis Shellcross, Stephen Gerrits, and then a massive fight for 4th position. Rodney Palmenter is in there. Coomba is in there as well. Tangles would be one in there as well, so they're all plenty of them in with car 30 also into the mix, looking to get closer to that front 6th position is what we want. Race leader though, through the western corner, and Jason Boss, he's clocked out. I've had enough. Underneath the control tower. Car 12 is our race leader. Brodie Boss, comfortable. Chucky Gerrits up high on the racetrack. Dennis Shellcross down low. Next one is Rodney Palmenter. Then we've got Tangles. Then we've got Coomba, and that's the 6. They've got to get up in to mix up with those 6 if you want to be involved in the final. Another one on a mission is Glenn Pagel, but he's got a bit of work to do as we've got a yellow one.
Volk turns it around. Rhino.
It's pretty frantic. I'll grab Jack here real quick. Hey, Jack, hard luck, mate.
Yeah, oh, well, what can you do? We had a good run. Yeah, just like to thank Dad. He's done a lot of work to the car. All our sponsors, Hooper Constructions, RTV, Fabrications, James Hannon Painting, and everyone else. I'm probably forgetting people. Arnold's Tyres, Flat Chat Deliveries. Oh, yeah, couldn't do without them.
Hard luck, mate. Hold your head up high. You were in good company and you did a ripper job.
Thanks, Rhino.
If you can make it through to the big dance when he rails the top, because the top of the racetrack is good. Queen's Royal up next, and then our driver introductions for our King's Royal feature race. Brody Boss to bring us around, Paul.
Brody Boss, can he stay there? 12 laps to go. We go down to Tony Coomber. That's the final 6. Go, we're racing again under the greens. Stephen Garrett's down low. Dennis Shellcross up high. Rodney Parmenter would be the next one. We've got Tangles in there. Someone coming very quickly round the outside.
Miles Gilroy.
Big mess.
Oh!
Dear. That will be a great one, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's a big wreck over
Tangles
there.
is in there.
Ash Volk got in hard on the side.
Sweeney's
Off
in there
Suzuka,
as
that-
well.
Look at the front end of Jason Drever's car. It's junk and he is filthy. On the infield here, Tangles, that's a lot of damage. I'd imagine the 24, he got hit a couple of times. Gary Pagel's ripped the front end out of his car too. Ash Volk coming to the inquiry bay to check out. Miles Gilroy is out of the event as well. Look at the front end and Gary Pagel, it's junk. Tangles climbs from the car. Put your hands together for Tangles.
Volk will be out as well. The right front is collapsed up underneath the car.
Hey, Tangles, you all right, mate?
Yeah, that was right. Yeah,
Pretty big crash, mate. That was a big impact.
yeah, I know. Just fell at someone unloaded me a bit, and I went around, and it was just shit storm. Yeah,
Time for an OP rum up at the bar, I'd reckon.
yeah, several. Okay, next year.
You'll be back. How about it? Give it up for David Head. Miles Gilroy. Miles, tough weekend at the office, mate.
Yeah, this place is always tough for me, man. That track's pretty cool, but hey.
Yeah, you're rolling around the top there, and then you got checked and dropped back a few, and then went forward a bit, and there's something there.
Oh, I didn't even see these blokes, mate. You just, yeah. So, anyway, we'll come back next year.
I'm sure you will. Good on you, mate. Look at this. You know what that is? It goes there. A visor. That's the impact from there. Come off someone's helmet. Phenomenal stuff. As we got a big mess to clean up here. All right, let's go. Alex Sweeney's thumbs up. I'll give Darren Suzuka his visor back. And here's the replays up here. Tangles, I think your assessment was fair. We're going to watch on the Ken Mills Toyota Ultimate screen and check out how this mess all unfolded. Here it is. And then it gets really bad from there.
Oh, wow.
And we'll slow that down. We've got another angle from the infield. Alex Sweeney drives away. So here's the infield shot. Oh, and it's just spinning cars in front of a lot of cars at pace. And Tangles in. Right, slow it down on. Look at this. So right in the middle of the screen there. And Pagel and Drever get hard into the concrete. And then look at this impact here. Whack. And then look at Asphalt, hard on the brakes. And just, they all arrived on the scene in front of him. You could see Asphalt, he was hard on the brakes, had the car sideways, and they slid down the track in front of him and nowhere to go. Absolutely massive crash here. And here's some of the damage. Shock tower's actually still in place. It's copped a big hit. So just get down here if you can, Nick. Maybe. So this, what you're looking at, yeah, go to the other side, Nick, and I'll show you what these guys have. So inside these cars, it'll be easy to see with this white paint. So we've got, these are all the NASCAR bars here that keep the driver safe. This is the foot protection stuff right here. So that's steel. And none of that's moved, and it keeps the driver's foot, well, in a good spot. But look at that. That's all been pushed right across. The accelerator isn't where it should be because the firewall's moved from the impact on the side here. But the good thing about this, none of this really moved, and it kept David's feet. They're about size 74, nice and safe. And the roll cage, again, did its job, and it certainly wasn't as bad as Horsham. Tangles. Yeah, you've got a front cut, yep. And Tangles might be the second drunkest person here tonight in about an hour and a half, I'd reckon. Half an hour. 30 minutes is all he needs, apparently. Here it is again. There's just not a lot of good coming from it as tow trucks are working overtime. So I can tell you Ash Volk is out, Drever out, Jack Cameron was already out, Gary Pagel out, Miles Gilroy, Darren Sazolka and David Head are all out of the B main. Like one guy just talking to me right now, or he's about to talk to me, Gary Pagel, you've been in this position a few times unfortunately, and we know it's all racing, but you're just rolling around the top looking pretty good.
Yeah, I left it a little bit hooked up because it looked like you're going to have to get right up there. You watch Aiden later, be scratching the wall. And that's the risk you take when you go up there. But I was pretty happy with it and looked like we were going to make some ground, but yep, that didn't happen.
Certainly didn't. It's a tough place when it's like this.
Oh yeah, mate. It's when you're driving full noise most of the time, it just doesn't leave a room for any mistakes.
No, well, hard luck to Gary Pagel. It's good to see him back out there, former national champion, 5-time Queensland #1. As we're going yellow now, as the racetrack is cleared. And I think Alex Sweeney about the only one to be able to drive away from that. And that was just utter mayhem. Absolute mayhem. Jason Sloss trying to fire up the 69 over there in turn 1. To get this one in the book, and the racetrack is still handy.
We still want a top 6. A top 6. And Brady Boss will lead them down to the start. We got a little bit of push and shove and banging in the middle of the pack, but we got 12 laps to go. Brady Boss, Stephen Garrett, have a look at Coomber. He's come from nowhere into the middle of the second row and is looking for some fresh air. High on the racetrack, Brady Boss, Stephen Garrett, Tony Coomber back then to Rodney Parmenter, and they've shuffled Dennis Shellcross back down the track a little bit. Back behind them will be the 19 car as they head down the back chute once again, and Gilroy is probably the one at the cut-off position at the moment as they go down the main straightaway. Brody Boss, Stephen Garrett, back then to Tony Coomber, Rodney Parmenter, Gilroy. Then the next one is Dennis Shellcross, he's the cut-off place. On the outside of him is Glenn Pagel. We got him 3 wide again around the western corner with Rodney Parmenter down low on the racetrack. Run up high is the Gilroy car. Tony Coomber is stuck there right in the middle of it as they go on past the pit gate and into the western corner. And Brody Boss, he's clicked out. Had enough of that. I'll stay out of all of the traffic. Stephen Gerrits, can he qualify? Here comes Rodney Parmenter. The 19 car up high is Wayne Gilroy. Gilroy continuing up high, trying to get to a better place than what is he now, about 4th or 5th. Back to do we want. The 6th placing at the moment is Dennis Shallcross as they've shuffled Tony Coomber back. Damo, have a look at the lead of Brody Boss.
Yeah, Brody Boss is starting to really walk away. That car of Chuck Gertz is a real handful at the moment. It's an ex-McDonald car, it is an ex-Queensland champion car, but it is still going okay here. Gilroy around the outside, here comes Glenn Pagel as well. Shallcross is there, Cooper's still there. We still have 6 laps to go in the B main. Have a look at this.
One of these cars are going to miss out. Of these 6 in this battle group right now, one of them are going to miss out. Coomber is the one missing out at the moment.
Who's got the setup and who's got the longevity? We've got 2
They
together.
got them looked up.
Oh, no. And Westy's in on Chook and Rodney Pimenta. And Chook and Pimenta just got grabbed together there, running for that final transfer position. And look at the front wheel for Westy.
Hopefully they're just hooked up there.
How good is this racetrack? Look at Brody and Wayne Gilroy on the main straight right now. Both playing on the cushion. What's going on there?
Oh, they're just exchanging some pleasantries.
Gilroy and Boss. Boss is long gone. He's got a ginormous lead. Let's go to the replay. So there's Chook and Rodney Pimenta getting together, and Westy, whack. Okay. So Bossy's in the center chute, and potentially Wayne Gilroy was coming to tell Bossy about something on his car, perhaps.
All looks okay.
Looks okay. Oh, no, Gilroy's left rear. Okay, so Bossy was slowing down to tell potentially Gilroy that something's wrong with his left rear. Right, that makes a bit more sense. And here he is again. He just told him, he was pointing down with his finger just then. Look at that left rear for Gilroy. Yep, thumbs up from him. He's good. He's going to send it.
She'll be right.
Hard luck for Graham West, Paul. Nice to have him up here.
Love the Tirana. He had nowhere to go. It's just one of those things, and they came back across the racetrack in front of him, and suddenly, yeah. I tell you what, Rhino.
There you go. That's a good point. Look at that on screen right now. Westy running slicks. You do not see that very often. I've seen one other person try that here. And that was Brock Atkins in a dash. What was that? Was that 2 years ago? Hello, Brock and Todd. Greg and Kelly down there in Victoria. They've had a horror season, but still banging some nice results together. Brody Boss out in front, 5 laps to run. Top 6 to transfer in tonight's Kings Royal, and Bossy leads us away once again. And who is going to be that final 6, Paul?
Glenn Pagel is the one high on the racetrack. Wayne Gilroy will be worried about the back end of the race car. He'll be counting the laps. Dennis Shellcross down low. Tony Coomber is in there as well. Rodney Parmenter and Chuck Gerrits. That'll be, well, Chucky's in a position number 7, so he's going to miss out from back there. But Brady Boss has settled down completely and is just trying to drive around nice and steadily down on the inside. The one with some action on the outside, as we've got a yellow one again. I think it's Rachel Pratt.
Yeah, plenty of twist and turns still. So Chucky's out of the bubble right now. Pimenta's in. It's 4 to go. It's going to be a belter, Paul.
Who gets the jump?
Brady Boss leads them under the tower with the green one. Here comes the car 11 looking for some room. Tony Coomber up high on the track. The 19 car of Wayne Gilroy, though, is holding on to position number 2. Dennis Shellcross is back there in 5. Then we've got Rodney Parmenter. Then we've got a real gaggle of cars, and Chucky Gerrits is mixed up in that. Brady Boss is the only one who's secure, I would think, from here, as he goes down the main straightaway. Only a couple of laps remaining, and anything could happen back in the pack. The one going backwards a little bit is Glenn Pagel at the moment, as they go down the back straightaway. Damo, couple of laps remaining.
Yeah, Brady Boss looks like he's got it in the bag. Gilroy in 2, Shellcross and Pagel. We've got 1 around. We've got 2 around.
Oh, Darren
White
Severs
flag
and Rachel
just comes
Pratt
out.
around, and we are caution on the Speedway again. Oh, goodness. Hey, Westy, tough night at the office, mate.
No. Brody Boss leads him. Gilroy, Pagel. Shellcross, Coomber, Pimenta and Gerrits. Here we go. We are green in the B main. Of course, Brody Boss leads him around. Glenn Pagel dropped back just a little bit. Gilroy. Oh, Pagel's just near the wall. Can he get it down?
Oh, no.
Gerrits has hit the wall. No.
Oh, no. Glenn Pagel ends up in the concrete after contact. Oh, goodness. What a shame for Glenn Pagel. And we're yellow again, and there'll be a lot of damage. Look at the groove there on screen from where he's gone in. Let's go to the replay and see what happens here. Glenn Pagel there. Oh, gets a big whack and ends up in the concrete.
I wonder if there's something wrong with Pagel. He dropped right off the pace there early in the piece. Something, maybe, I don't know.
Let's look at it again. Oh. And Glenn Pagel watching the replay. And it won't get any better. Here's another angle. And I think Chucky got in and unsettled Pagel, and he ended up in the concrete, unfortunately. And the Gerrits Earth Moving number 4 is out of the B main. He was up to second at one stage. So here it is again. We're going to slow it right down. Brody Boss, your leader, green white checker. We're looking for the top 6 in the B main. Who knows what can happen yet, Paul?
Brody Boss leads them down the back shed. Have a look at Gilroy. They said there was something wrong with the back of the car. Who cares? Gilroy into position number 2. Dennis Shellcross would be the next one. High on the racetrack is Rodney Parmenter. Tucked in then is Stephen Gerrits. Brody Boss drifts a little high as they take the white one. We finally might get there. Brody Boss, Rodney Parmenter up high, right up against the wall. That's not going to do him any good, but Brody Boss is going to get there. He will come home in front. Wayne Gilroy, Dennis Shellcross, Rodney Parmenter. And yeah, we'll leave that to the official timing to find out who was 6. But took a while, in fact, I think about 39 minutes to tell you. But put your hands together. Brody Boss will find his way at the back of the A-Main.
Our Queen's Royal feature race rolls out onto the racetrack. Hey, Bossy, that was a long time to be in the car.
Yeah, I'm absolutely spent now. It's been a pretty shit of a weekend, but we got it hooking now. It's good to rip the lip at Kingaroy. That's cool.
Certainly is, mate. Go get after it in the A-Main. I reckon there'll be a few cheering you on.
Sweet, thanks, man.
Well done to Bossy, wins the B-Main.